live.
If you look at this here, look at that oil right there coming out of that front seal.
We're going live. We tell it to you.
See
Cheers,
that?
mate. Oh, snazzy.
Yum.
Yum. Wow.
Popping chat out now.
Got it. What is up, everybody? Popping out the chat, getting the windows. Whoa. Getting the windows all set up. We got Ford Boss hanging out at work, holding on. We were just pre-gaming. We were talking some shop talk, and he has been hanging out and wants to show us something. You guys already know what we're kind of getting at. He's got one in a gazillion pieces right now, or his coworker does. But this is a very, very, very good example, everybody. Everybody's tuning in. This is right in the beginning. This is what lack of maintenance does. Take a good look at what your insides look like. Fellas, take care of your truck. Look at that turbo. Just look at it. Destroyed. Destroyed.
Would you just
Nasty.
look at it? Would you just look at it?
Oh, would you look at that? Oh, would you look at that? You guys, we've talked about it over and over. We can't make this stuff up. I will tell you that this is a cab and chassis truck, got high idle hours. But it comes down to the owner operators, people taking care of it. They ain't doing it. Tom Jupp, what is up? Zakester, Zeke. Everybody, Brian, what up? Brian, Vince, details. We're telling you, look at the insides of that. That's all the valve train. Can barely even see the valve springs. They're just coated all.
They're all, it's so bad and so sludged up that it's mounded like a mountain over all the valve springs.
Did you have anything loose metal or like a bolt you can use to scrape or just poke at something?
Yeah. They're trying to clean off my
Watch
lens a
this.
little bit.
Some people are on the maintenance program. Some people are on the repair program. That's correct. They're over maintenance. That's what Joe Diesel used to call them. All right, here we go. Hey.
Oh,
That's nasty. Wow. Oh, look at it just falling off. That's, oh, gross. Look at that little puddle of mush. Fellas, don't let this be you. You saw my video
Look at
you
this.
know, on
Look at this.
Tuesday.
Look at this.
Gosh, that's underneath the turbo.
how is your oil supposed to return?
That's the drain back to the crankcase.
Oh, I've never seen one that bad.
Oh yeah. I had one so bad one time, it needed a short block. I had to take the heads and everything to the quarter car wash.
Look.
That's Brenda. CCV, right there for you. CCV hole in the valve. Oh man.
That should get a complete 6007.
Oh yeah. Oh, it is. Who needs oil changes? Shout out from Wisconsin. What up? Looks like hot fudge. That's exactly what it looks like. Dark chocolate hot fudge. Let's see that. Yeah, where that water pump or vacuum pump goes in the middle.
Let me get my Cyclops.
Cyclops.
Oh, you
mother. You guys saw the video from Tuesday with the coking deposits. You know, that is a little bit different than what we're looking at here. This is, you know, internal to the engine. Anything that is touching oil pretty much on this engine is
I mean,
A little
all-
Marvel mystery oil fix it right up.
Oof.
Marvel ain't fixing this.
No. Tar. Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
No,
here.
oh, come on. Ken Cotton, you'd be liking this. I wish I could have used that tool. Got the Napa Gold, pulling the oil filter. Come
Last time the
on.
oil was changed was 7/30/21, and it's probably been idled ever since.
Wow. Wow. I will.
So
See ya.
much for the somebody said, oh, it was probably because of a frame filter. I know he was joking around. I said, ironically, it's a damn Wix. It's an Apple, but it's a Wix.
I don't think it matters what oil filter's on there at this point.
So for the Napa and Wix fanboys, what do you got to say now?
What do you got to say? Big turd, big worm, big perm. The owner, make sure you guys hit that like. That's right. B. Guess who's using the STP oil treatment, huh? Guy says, hurts my soul, poor truck. I know, it's hard to see sometimes. Oh, man. Hi, guys. My 6.7 is at the dealer. Woohoo! That is super exciting. Skidoo, how long you been waiting? I forgot. Bradford, what up? I'm slowly hearing you are one, and another guy told me I think his was in transit. So that's always exciting. I know you guys have been patiently waiting. I'm gonna get you guys started on the right. Right track. There's Ken right there. Boss me has a filter cutter. Yeah. I was just talking about you, buddy. Freddie. I wish we knew what the idle hours were. I don't think we got that far into it.
Yeah, no, we didn't, because what ended up happening is when the truck came in, the batteries were dead. So when we got the batteries charged up, everything was freaking out. There's all these codes and stuff set in the computer. So we climb underneath the thing with a breaker bar, trying to spin the engine over, and the engine won't spin over. So we get the vehicle in the shop, and he was like, you know what, at this point, I just want to get rolling on it. I got a bunch of big jobs lined up. He's got a bunch of big jobs lined up. I wanted to see the idle hours so bad, but I was like, you know what? It doesn't even matter at this point. It's very clear what has been going on.
Oh, most stuff.
I had a lot of guys say, well, why don't you send that off for oil analysis? Why? So I could have them reply back and tell me whoever this is that drove this vehicle is.
Why would you even send this in?
It doesn't matter what your name is. So no, I don't no. It would be a waste of money, a waste of $40, and a waste of time sending it in. It's just, at the end of the day, I had somebody on TikTok say something not too long ago, and I'm sure you guys know his name. If you like him, you like him. If you don't, you don't. I'm not in the business of bashing people, but I don't really care for that Mr. Subaru guy. He's got a habit of bashing dealer techs. And he said something about the dealership life and technicians. And I said, one thing that I can honestly say is I don't really fix other dealership work too much. I fix a lot of indie stuff and a lot of DIY stuff. And I dig into a lot of problems that other people don't get to see at our level. So this is nothing new to us. Seeing these engines that are sludged up, seeing these catastrophic failures and things like that. So you, the viewer, the person on the other side of the camera that watches us every single day, you guys might get all excited and emotional and stuff. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe people that do this. But CP, me, Diesel Daddy, all these other people, we see this stuff all the time. This is nothing new to us. This is like, we're not as excited about this type of stuff as you guys are, because we see people don't maintain their vehicles. They don't change their oil. They don't care about it. And then at the end of the day, what do they say when they find out that they have a $16,000 bill or a $14,000 bill? Well, that thing was a piece of junk, damn Ford and everything else. And I'm thinking to myself, you're the one that didn't maintain the vehicle. How the hell is it all?
It's your own fault.
It wasn't like that when I dropped it off. The hell it wasn't.
This guy just says to twist the wires together and call it a day. That's right. The owner.
Well, they were saying,
yeah.
Some of your followers have, some of them have, mine too, but couple of your guys have been giving me a little grief lately because I showed a series of 5 different types of wire repairs. And one of them is a very, very old wire repair from back in the day where you integrate, you twine the wires together, you finger them together and you slide them together. And you do a light twist one way and a light twist the other way, and you pull back and you lock the wires in. They'll actually pull tension into themselves, and then you don't need solder and stuff like that. It's a very strong repair when done right, and they used to use it back in the day. Well, a lot of people don't see stuff like that. They don't see that us young guys still know a little bit of that old school knowledge and stuff, and we like to use it sometimes in certain situations. So guys have been picking at me lately. You may twist those wires together and just send down the road, buddy. I'm like. So sometimes that's all you can do, brother. Especially when you ain't getting paid. A little twisty here, and a little twisty there. See you later, buddy. Get it out of my shop.
You may know who you're talking about. Just commented. I gave him grief. I admit it. Sorry, Ford boss.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
We can bust balls. It's good.
Yeah. That who was it? Mr. Subaru posted he said something about why or the work that I get coming from the dealers, and he was bashing like dealer techs or something like that and making it seem like dealer techs were the only ones at fault. And I posted a video and I said, how constructive is this with you putting out the videos that you put out, bashing other dealer techs and talking down to people? If me and Aaron and everybody else posted the amount of work that we get in every single day from the DIY guys and the independent shops and other dealer techs and stuff, we would have a channel full of nothing but talking crap about people. How constructive is that? It's not constructive.
That's a good point.
Just show people how to fix their damn vehicle.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's not good energy.
No, man. I've been having fun lately because I think I'm at that point in my life and my career where I know I can kind of go wherever I want. I won't be hurting for anything. And I just want to help people. That's it. I just want to help people. I don't care about talking trash about other people anymore.
FBM, I watched that video and used that fixing broken wires on my trailer. What? All
right.
See? That's what's up. Scotch lock. That's what he was talking about. What was somebody else said something? It triggered something I want to talk about. Doozy.
Oh, we got to talk about that 22S17.
Oh, I got it written down. We ain't there yet.
All right.
We're getting there.
Congrats, Rich, on the house.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
He buys a house and I'm selling a house.
Yeah. The guy that sold the house right down the street from where I bought the house asked me, he said, if you don't mind, he was delivering a pizza to the house. I guess he does pretty good as a pizza delivery guy. He said, I have no problem paying for it. He said, I bought a home off this job, plus working another part-time job. And I just sold that house for $50,000 more than what I bought it for because of the market. And then we've already purchased our next home that we're going to end up flipping in the next couple of years. And he's a pizza guy.
Hey, he's got the game down.
Earlier today, first 22, 400 miles, had to put a starter in it. I wish you guys could have. I didn't have time. I didn't get a chance to make a video, but I made a quick short just showing you. The customer indicated that the starter didn't stop engaging, and he started driving, and well, you know what happened. So I don't know if something just got stuck in the starter or the solenoid. I did know that when I went to go bust the 15 mil nut and the 10 mil nuts loose off the terminals, the whole solenoid that sits on the starter wanted to come, usually it doesn't move at all. So I don't know if there was something was just a defect in the starter or something, but it was definitely not right. So Definitely a first one. Oh, Hammer Down, what up? What up? You guys have to check out Hammer Down's YouTube channel, even his Instagram. I just got some sneak peeks on some things, and let me tell you, if y'all like lights like I do, wait till you see what he's got. He's got some cool stuff coming, so I'm excited to see his video. And it makes me want some now. David Brisby, truck makes a slight popping, bumping kind of noise when turning and hitting bumps. Can feel it under driver's side floor. Any ideas? Well, something right on the driver's side floor is that track bar bushing, but you also have, you know, ball joints and everything on that. Yeah. So either check your front end out watching that video that I did showing you where to pry and have somebody work the wheel. But the next thing, like Cody mentioned, just check them cab mounts. I got a.
Especially on the 14s.
Did he say what it was?
Yeah, 14.350.
11 to 16s love cab mounts.
They come in here all the time when the cab mount's gone. Wore the hell out.
All right,
That's
here's a
half
good.
the reason. I think that's half the reason you got radiator problems in those.
Oh, most definitely. Here's a good question from Chris. It's a good debatable question. If I have an F-250, can I add rear leafs from a 350 to add more towing capacity? Frames the same on the 250, 350? Question mark.
Where you would, I say I was a moderator on a camping group, and they would ask questions like this all the time. It's your job as the consumer to do the research on that vehicle, and you need to compare the 350 axles, the bearings, all the supporting stuff that goes in that, because you can put as many leaf springs as you want and say that it's going to help you. But if you don't have everything else to support how that truck is being built or set up, it doesn't matter. A lot of people say all the time, oh, I'll just put some springs on it or bags behind it and stuff like that. Why? What are you going to do? Overload it? You don't have the right bearings. You don't have the right axles in it. It could be a number of things.
Just because you put bags on it doesn't mean it means you can carry more weight.
This means a lot of people, they bag their truck to level it out. So it kind of helps distribute some of the braking a little bit, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to handle more weight just because you put bags on it or springs on it or make one modification. You're going to have to do some research and dig into it to see, was your truck built with the same types of, you know, bearings and axle assembly and, you know, whatever the supporting stuff is between the 250 and 350. Now, I can't tell you off the top of my head. I'd have to go sit down in parts in a computer, pull up a 350, pull up a 250, and then go piece by piece by piece by piece and make sure that they were identical. And I can't do that. You know, I just don't have the time.
People think that because we're at the dealer, that we just have access. You know, it says, you know, like it, oh man, it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, the catalog doesn't break down stuff like that. You know, it would be a really good video is showing like how we have to do with parts, like what we have to do, like even the shopping cart. So we pull up that interactive, you know, maybe people don't, maybe care, they not, I don't know. We could ask.
I mean, it'd be a good video. It would be a real good video.
Oh, we could do it right now.
If you look up,
screen share.
What was it? The other day I did a 2019 Ford Fusion hybrid, and the customer complaint was there's a huge vibration that starts at about 35 to 40 mile an hour, and it progressively gets worse as you increase speed. Now, if it was a rotational thing, you would think that you would be able to feel it in the brakes or the tires or something like that, but it was specifically only at a certain mile per hour and then increasing. So I bring the vehicle back, I put it on the lift. I'm actually having one of the lube techs sit in the car. I said, go ahead and increase speed. Let me see what's going on here, where I can see something that's defective. And all of a sudden I see the CV axle is literally bent in the center of the eccentric, and it starts the vehicle starts vibrating on the lift. And I was like, okay, stop.
What
It almost seemed like it was about to jump off. And I go to the workshop manual and I pull up the shopping cart for the CV axle. And it's something as simple as one little thing was throwing me off. This is a CV axle that's held in by that bearing clamp and the two 13mm nuts. And then on the exterior portion, you get the lower control arm bolt and nut, and then the CV axle nut. Why are they telling you to grab this extra retaining clip that has nothing to do with the right side? It comes assembled as it is, and there's no retaining clip that actually goes in the right side of the vehicle, because it's held in not only by the CV axle where it mounts, the nut on the outside, but also the strap and the nuts that go across the bearing. That's the center support for it right on the back of the block. So even the workshop manual, the shopping cart and stuff is not 100% right all the time. We have to go back to the workshop manual, go through the how-to, the removal process, and look at every single step to verify that the shopping cart is even right.
What really gets you is going through the workshop manual and just going through each step, whatever has that trash can, like you're saying, that trash can, if it has the trash can, we have to get another fastener. See, Cody's got this pulled up here, just a generic truck.
I had to put a VIN in.
And let's see if we got some.
See, as he's scrolling down here, you can look at the different pictures, and each one of those colors indicates something different. And
Trash can.
that O-ring cannot be reused again. You got to throw it away. And if you're doing a warranty claim on that and they don't see that you charged out that O-ring and it specifically states in the workshop manual it needs to be replaced, that claim could get bounced and the dealer eats the money on that.
Like, here's a good one. This one's going to have a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Trash. Inspect and trash. Trash. And think, one of these O-rings could hold up a whole job.
And it's not giving us the part number. So what we have to do, we know, we'll make a little note to jog our memory, what O-ring or whatever. But now what Cody's doing, we got to pull the VIN up in the catalog. We have to go, let's say we're looking for a valve cover gasket. Well, we have to put in the part number for a valve cover gasket and see, all the parts that are in that section and pick out what we need. What's up, buddy? What's up? We appreciate
and this is
you.
the shopping cart. CP's got the shopping cart pulled up of what's supposed to be replaced in that particular job as one-time use stuff. So all the stuff right there has to be put on the work order unless it says as needed. So all of that right there has to be there.
Yep.
And that's just one. That's not even for the fuel pump. That's just for this.
And that's really nothing compared to, like, say Aaron's doing a complete teardown and rebuild and like a short block or something like that. I mean, the list is, but now they have kits for all that stuff now too. From what
Yeah, go figure.
Enhanced long block, that one should have it. It's not as big, but I mean,
go to I know this is we're doing Super Duty stuff, but if you went to like the 2018 Ford Escape 1.5 liter EcoBoost, freaking heck, man, pages and pages and pages of what can be used and what you have to get.
What's the coolant intrusion TSB or whatever it is?
Oh, I forget what
Coolant intrusion.
Yeah,
just do a generic an 18 Escape, and it's right in, and then go to PO 303 under the DTCs, and it's right there.
Yeah, that's a hell of a list on that.
Isn't that crazy?
And just one of the misfire, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then it should say, low coolant level, and then it just goes.
Oh my gosh. You guys have no idea
Then you have to sit
for
there.
crying out loud.
You have to go somewhere away from everybody so you can actually think and look through that entire thing and separate what stuff, because it used to say this is for an escape, this is for a fusion, this is for an escape, this is for a fusion.
Oh, hold
And
on, go back. Look what else we got to look at. See on the right side, all these packages. It's telling you package contains one piece, but we need two pieces.
So you
So
got
not only
multiples.
oh, not only yeah, like what Rich is talking about, but it's the quantities. Yeah, we need that gasket, but hold on, there's 3 of them.
And let's just say we can get into this job and we're going to do this short block. But in the process of pulling this cylinder head off of the short block, we can't get the original spark plugs out of the cylinder head. So then we have to go to M time, order a cylinder head. And then when we get the cylinder head, we have to order 6 different types of bucket sizes, or 7 or 8 different types of bucket sizes, to sit there and put the camshaft in the exhaust side, measure one, pull the camshaft back out, measure the other one, pull the camshaft back out. And you have to do it over and over and over again for every single valve. And it could be one of 8 different types of buckets that go in there. So you're literally spending 3.5, 4 hours just setting up a cylinder head, and you haven't even started building the block back yet.
I'll take my 6.7s all day. I don't care about them overhead cam malarkeys.
And look at the labor times on it.
Yeah.
And that's
except for HB 3940 here, that 19.7 ends up turning into real good numbers here.
I bet.
Dang.
Yeah.
So I got something. This is a good segue.
Well, while Cody has this pulled up, that would be really, really good to talk about this now. For you guys that are still with us, the big recall that a lot of you guys are freaking out over, 22S17. It is the reprogram for the integrated trailer relay module, the TRM. It is underneath the dash, pretty much above your brake pedal on our Super Duties. They have updated the campaign to now be available for all 22 model year vehicles. When it first came out, we were not doing all Super Duties, some Super Duties. Actually, Ford Boss actually had the first one that I was involved in. Explain to them what you found on FDRS, where we're questioning if we go through this,
if Cody goes to the technical info and clicks on it, it will say something in the technical info about looking for something called the ITRM. And I'm reading that to Aaron, and I'm like, what in the heck are they telling me to do? It's saying on the left side of the list, there's something called an ITRM. There's a TRM, but there's nothing called an ITRM. And why that would be in the literature, I don't know if we're supposed to know what that means, or because this is brand new, it's kind of throwing me off. And I'm going through and I'm trying to figure out what updates are actually available. So I go to SW updates on FDRS, and it says the TRM does have an update available, but it's not called the ITRM. And I'm kind of like scared. I'm scared now because I've got the first 22S17 in the dealership, and I call Aaron up right away, and I'm like, dude, help me make sense of this. And
don't program it.
Well, and then if you go back to the main thing where it's got the yellow box.
Hold on.
Going back.
The yellow box changed today.
Oh, well, then this is new to me. Then I'll be seeing the new yellow box for the first time.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, the yellow box changed today, late.
Some of the affected vehicles were repaired at the plant and inadvertently left in the recall, or in this recall. These units have been removed from Oasis and online VIN listing. Please review Oasis to verify if the vehicle is still in the program. If the vehicle is no longer in the program and the repairs are started or completed before the claim was submitted, contact SSSC for further direction. FDRS trailer relay TRM update is now available for 22 mi. See, it didn't say that before. You're right. F-150, Maverick, Expedition, Navigator, and Super Duty vehicles. Oh, wow. They added all that. Please select TRM when using FDRS scan tool. So you can see here how this is kind of confusing, because the first box I seen, it did
not say
some of
that.
And it said some of the 22s may not show that an update's available and they're working on it. And then other 22s may show there's an update available, but I'm looking for an ITRM. I'm not looking for a TRM. So in the technical info, I mean, I know this is kind of petty, but I would think that Ford should go back to that and say TRM, because if you're a guy that's doing this recall for the first time, for the first time, you're looking for the literal direction of where the manufacturer is telling you you need to go. And it can throw you off, just that little piece. Like I was talking to Aaron, like, why is this so confusing? Why does this have to be so complicated? Why is it so hard to fix just literal small things like this to keep us on track? So I updated the TRM and it went through. But when I was done, there was a U041581 or something code set in the RCM saying that it didn't like the information it was receiving from the ABS module. So I go to the pinpoint test and it basically says do nothing, but it was still flagging. It says if it's the only code, you don't have to worry about it per se. I don't know if you want to pull it up, Cody, or not, but it literally says if that's the only code present in the computer, there's nothing for you to do. Well, yes, there is something for you to do. If you're the type of person that wants that vehicle to leave there in the state that it came in, which was completely green, I went to the ABS module. I ran a ABS pump initialization, bleed initialization. And for the first time it failed. So then I went and I hit the brake real hard and I let go, even though it didn't say to do that. I figured there had to be some kind of pressure shown in order to run the test.
That's
so
crazy.
I hit the brake to build up some pressure in the system, just a little bit, not crazy, not trying to kill the brake pedal. Right. And then I went and ran the test and I acted like I was doing the bleed procedure. And then it said, okay, go to the rear. So then I hit the brake again to show some pressure there. And I went back and I continued the bleed procedure. When I was finished, I cleared codes, I started the vehicle, and the RCM code disappeared and was not there anymore. And everything stayed green.
That's so crazy.
So after where it says further contact SSC for further direction, it said earlier today, engineering is aware that certain, like Ford Bossman said, we are working on updates to fix as soon as possible. Do not update software for my 22 my vehicles. Monitor PTS for further updates. 21 vehicles, select TRM when using FDR scan tool.
That's
what it said.
That's what I was talking to Aaron about. I was like, well, mine does show an update. It's not one of those 22s that doesn't say an update available. Mine is a 22 that actually shows there is an update. And it makes it seem like it can be either or. Don't do it if it's not there, like you're trying to go force a program into something or configure something that doesn't show that there's something available versus a vehicle that does show there is an update available. So I went ahead and did it. I wrote in my story exactly why I did it. And I actually wrote in my story about the U0415, I think U041581. I wrote all that in there because I want you guys, I want Ford to know exactly what I was dealing with while I was going through it. And all my stories are very articulate and they're very well wrote out. And I explained everything down to the very, very detail of what I had to go through when I was doing this, because I want them to know.
Maybe they will, if they get repeated complaints or, warranty claims submitted like that, maybe they'll critique the technical info to say in there, once complete, do ABS bleed procedure, just keep, just follow the prompts or whatever it says.
Maybe they've updated it to where, now that there's something that, like Cody said, where it said, don't do the update. Maybe that's fixed now and that's not even going to be there. And you just have to start the vehicle when you're done and it'll clear on its own. You don't have to worry about that. I don't know.
They did something because they put it in the what's new section of PTS late today. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's good. That's good that they got on it that quick.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, the letters weren't supposed to be sent out until the 18th anyways. So Ford
that's
keeps
important.
Ford keeps pushing these early notice things, and everyone gets in a big panic.
I know their guys are freaking out. I mean, I can understand, but it's like, what? Well, we can't. There's nothing for us to do.
Does it say in the dealer bulletin portion on the exact explanation on why we're even doing this, like other than just the hearsay and
Right there.
Reason for safety recall: in all affected vehicles, the trailer brake control module may not properly apply the trailer brakes when towing a trailer equipped with electronic or electronic over hydraulic brake systems. This may result in no trailer brake function while driving, a loss of trailer brakes, and extended stopping distance, increasing risk of crash.
Okay. Well, there it is.
Electronics.
And how much do we get paid for this? 4/10.
6/10. Sorry, 4/10, but I get 6/10.
Only in Illinois.
I said something. I was like, well, this has been going on in California for years. And then one of the guys that's a tech at a Ford dealership in California was like, I don't know where you're getting that information from, because we still get paid whatever the manufacturer says. And I was like, as far as I know, California was the first state to actually incorporate that time and a half if it's a SLTS standard or a recall. I don't
There
know.
you go.
We ain't got nothing like that. Super Duty right there, December 2nd, 20 through February 15, 22.
I mean, that's not that many trucks when you really think about it.
Does that thing still, I noticed it didn't say, the original one, didn't it say something about 21s could be done also?
F-150s.
Because on the bottom of that, when I was reading it to Aaron, it said something on the very, very bottom about 21s can have the TRM updated.
Yeah, you got 21 F-150.
Okay, F-150.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought at first it didn't say anything about any other vehicle other than the Super Duty on the original, yellow box message.
Let me pull out my pictures because I took a picture of it. Just in case. Originally it did just like the whole recall said Expedition, Navigator, Maverick, and Super Duty, and F-150. Like in the actual name of it, but there's nothing below that indicates if it's Super Duty or.
Yeah. I just, as technicians, we don't want a customer to come in and then induce a bigger problem when they leave and then be very unhappy with us. So now they're dealing with not only the recall, but now the truck is more messed up than what it was before. So.
You see the one that came out today about Broncos and rusted fasteners?
Yeah, I did see that, and how nobody's going to be getting parts.
I had to do a Ranger recently where you have to verify, you have to pull the headrests out of the Ranger. You have to order new headrests that are that make it more easily accessible for you to hook your child safety seat and stuff into the rear seats. So they come up with a different design headrest. And then you have to verify that the bracketry and everything on the bottom is straight, because some of them have been coming bent, like the hooks that the safety seat and stuff goes into from the factory. And they want you to acquire some kind of piece of angled aluminum or steel as a true bar to basically draw across from one hook to the other, and you can actually physically see whether or not they're set in true and straight. I'm like, what the heck is this, man? God.
Look at this. They're making a USB to Ethernet recovery for APIMs and TCUs.
Oh, for crying out loud.
You see this Fritz system or whatever
What?
this is? It's something about how you can, my manager called me into the office and he said, Rich, what is this? What is this?
What is this?
they're selling it on Etsy and everything else, that people are customizing accessories that you can add into your Ford product, and it's called some kind of Fritz, Frits or Z or something like that, where people are now making based on some kind of diagram or base data set to where they know how to manufacture a double cup holder that you can snap into the back of your Maverick and stuff. And now they have access to this information, and they're making aftermarket OEM Ford stamped cup holders that literally, and I'm like, what? And he said, no, look, he said, I'll pull it up right now. And he pulled it up, and there was some guy showing for $39.99, you can buy a Ford stamped aftermarket printed double cup holder that can snap down into the lower console. And now your people in the rear seats can put their drinks in a cup holder that snaps into the OEM stuff. And they're using some kind of patent or information that's given from the Fritz customize your Ford the way you want it type thing.
Yeah, Ford is giving out a whole bunch of information on those things so people can 3D print stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which, I mean, is cool, but I mean, it's still a Maverick.
Yeah, and that's what his question is. Is that legal to even do that? Can you take something that Ford has created and they're giving the information out, and then third parties or some other party, manufacture this and sell it online as a Ford stamped OE product?
Sounds kind of fishy. What is this? Let me go over here. This guy was asking, he says chassis. Oh, chassis. I said, I found my noise. A lot of guys, I had two guys ask me if running 1540 in their 6.7 is good. And don't know how I feel about that.
If you're down here with me, no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
Cody looked it up not too long ago. Didn't he
Yeah.
pull up up
Yeah.
the manual, and it said you can run it down to 20 degrees.
It's in the coffee table books.
A lot of guys are already doing it. A guy that came in the other day, he said he bought a whole bunch of it that he found that he couldn't find before. And I think didn't Anthony said something, he finally found some oil that he'd been looking for, because you can't find certain oil.
You can't find anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, 540 is still real hard to find.
Can you believe I haven't put enough miles on my truck this year to do an oil change?
Says who?
Says me.
Says who?
I've done 50.
I'm the maintenance queen here, buddy. I tell people all the time, they hate me for it. They're like, oh, change my oil once a year. Why? You not like your truck? Well, because I don't put enough miles on it. And the TBN, when I send it off to black, so it's still got a shelf life.
I'm
6
still
months.
waiting for mine.
I did an oil change in October with Motorcraft oil and Hot Shot Stiction modifier, and it's still the same oil. I drove to Florida on it, and the truck's sat ever since.
I want to make sure you guys are using our oil and fuel discount codes for Hot Shots. Remember to use PTT and DS-trucks.
We need to get Ford Boss Me one so we can use all three.
Yeah. 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 And you guys would be, well, we know that applying PTT and then putting the other code in and applying DS trucks, they're
Correct.
doubling up. So if we got Ford Boss Me one, shoo, we'd be getting some free stuff. Be like, you'd be getting half off all your stuff. You got discount. By the time you owe, you can go like $9.
He doesn't owe you.
He's like the oil change place.
I mean, funny. As much as I preach on this channel, and as much as I tell people all the time, And people are telling me, oh, I run AMSOIL, I run this, I run that. I was some guy the other day, he was into this big debacle, like on how he wants to run AMSOIL for an entire year because it's so good and the additive package is so high. I said, okay, buddy, send me that oil analysis then. So he sends me the oil analysis at 4,800 miles, signature series, 5W30 in his EcoBoost. His TBN rating was all the way down to like 2.2. His fuel dilution was almost at what the max spec would be for the oil change. So how's that signature series doing there, buddy? How's it doing for you? Seems like at 5,000 miles, just like I have been saying since the life of this channel, it's ready to be changed.
I don't usually go over 3 when I'm driving the truck, but my oil is used as hydraulic pressure. So
Yeah, that's true. It's doing more work than just lubricating. It's getting hammered.
literally,
Getting hammered. Just shearing. Happy Camper says, I got my new Powerstroke a month ago, and it was in the shop for 3 weeks. Oh, man. It was ticking and missing. They replaced 2 injectors at 42 miles. Do you see a lot of this? Should I be worried? Brother, I have not seen that. I find it kind of weird that they replaced just 2 injectors for a ticking, but if they were causing misfiring, then I mean, I could see the need for replacing the injectors. I mean, to be honest, like we really don't replace fuel injectors in 6.7s, only when they get metal in them, like for real.
The only problem I've seen with the new Super Duties at all is the sound, like Anthony was saying.
Yep.
40 to 35 mile an hour downshift, where it's got like that, and then it goes away. And now I think they have TSBs out on that now that they do recognize there's specific issues with the valve body, but that's not just on the Super Duties. That's like on the whole entire platform, almost the Fords.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I don't think you should be worried about. Just, I don't know, just happened. I understand your point of view, but it can happen. This guy asked a good question, and I just asked him a question back. He's got a 99 350 with a 7.3. I don't know what climate he's in, but he says light white smoke when starting cold. Could it be high pressure oil pump? No. Fuel pump? No. Injectors?
I call light
Maybe.
white smoke normal.
Could be. What does he hasn't answered the question back, but I mean everybody, I guess not everybody, but for those of you that do not know, what is the indicative sign of white smoke when cold? What does that mean when you start that and you see the donut holes? What does that mean? You're burning oil? No. You're burning coolant? No. It means that the cylinder temperature is too low. You have incomplete combustion, and until you can hear it, like you hear I've watched like cold starts on YouTube, and you'll get the trucks here, and you hit and then you hear immediately change sound because now all the cylinders are hitting, smoke immediately clears up. Yeah. Now everything is warmed up. You got good combustion. Diesels run on heat of what? Compression. We are using that to ignite our air fuel mixture. So if we don't have adequate heat in the cylinder, that's why we have the glow plugs. It's it's what diesels are, and it is really if a 99. I doubt you're going to have a check engine light on, depending if your Cali emissions or not. But if you had an issue with your glow plugs, the check engine light would be on. But I got a great 673 glow plug video where you can actually ohm out the glow plugs. Maybe you got a couple glow plugs that are, clunking out, maybe aren't the right resistance and aren't getting the correct heat into that cylinder to get, ignition. And we're just seeing the come out, out the tailpipe, that white smoke you're seeing. So
You should definitely check out my Volkswagen on a cold start. I promise you, light white smoke is not what you get on that thing.
My 2020 lets out a white puff or two on startup in the morning sometimes. Yeah, I say normal. A-Rod, you did a video on it with the cold white smoke. I know. That's probably what it is. After it warms up, there's no smoke at all. Also, no check engine light. ABS light is on. Sounds like we got you dialed in there. I would maybe reference the glow plug video if you want for shits and giggles. Maybe just ohm them out. If your truck's got a lot of miles on it, probably needs a set of glow plugs, if I were to guess. One of the things with those, even on the 6.0s, when you say could it be injectors, the times that I see it's injectors. Okay, so right now you're picturing, I want to paint the picture. Okay, you got the truck running, you just got the white smoke and it's warmed up and you're not seeing anything come out the tailpipe. You're hearing it run, you're smelling the diesel fuel, the diesel fumes, and you put it down into gear, truck's running fine, you feel like it's got power, you go to take off, you look out the mirror, don't really see nothing. Everything's, you see maybe a light dark, as you're hammering on it, totally normal. Now, if I were to think it was injectors, one of the things that I'm going to immediately see is when I go down and put it down into gear, I am not going to, how do I describe what I'm going to hear? It doesn't sound clean. I can't describe to you in words what I hear, what I want to describe to you, but I'll see like a bluish, whitey blue smoke under Excel, like it's really trying to work, like something's happening, but it's just not doing it. And a lot of times that can change as it gets warmed. Injectors, Huey, stiction, arch oil, your Bill Hewitt. We've got to get that skip away. You add arch oil, we get the stiction eliminator. It sucks with Huey, just like Cody was saying. He changes at 3,000 miles. It's not only lubricating, but it's just getting hammered doing the high pressure oil stuff. I don't know. I'm done with the Hueys. Hey, 6L will always be my second favorite. That's what we grew up on. That's what we learned. That's what we conquered. You win some, you lose some. But now the 6.7, we hear over 10 years. The only thing I'd want to drive. Hammer down, my 6.5 diesel would smoke out the neighbors in Canada in the cold winter starts, hit that high idle, let her bop, 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 bop. I hear it now. Hear it now. What up, Jonathan? I had white smoke from my 15, ended up being a crack in the DPF placed under warranty. Interesting. Go back up here. Oh, I missed some. Very common. TDI, this is VW stuff. Come on. who wants to buy extra set of tools because they're all spline drive and 14 point something you never heard of?
Yeah. Triple square.
I mean, I only had to buy about $200 worth of tools to make it work. So
I got something for a trimmer. I haven't said anything to you guys about it. I am going to be ordering it tomorrow, actually. Let me make sure I got my note because I need to do that trimmer. I don't know if you guys even know about this. There are some things. What should I say without giving it away? It's on the front of the truck, and you can see them if you're standing next to the wheel. I never knew about them until I saw. What was I trying to do? Oh, Himini, you were actually there. Ken's truck had him on it, not the 550, but his 17. Remember we were looking for his coolant leak? I was like, what the heck are these? And it didn't dawn on me until one of my trimmer customers brought it to my attention. I was like, oh, no way. I remember. Nah. Well, I want to let you guys I want to let you guys know about it because if you didn't, apparently it was on a trimmer forum. I'm not really on forums, so I thought, hey, they were cheap. Extra protection. That we're always about extra protection. Yeah, I'm gonna check them out, see what you guys think. I also have some different kind of floor mats coming. I don't know if you guys are gonna dig them. I'm gonna take mine out and kind of give these how should you say, a whirl and report back to you. I know we went over floor mats before. Right now I got the WeatherTech HPs. I know DS Trucks has got the Husky. What do you got, Daddy Diesel?
WeatherTech.
WeatherTech. What do you got in the Panther, Rich? Oh, he's driving. We got him muted.
I don't have anything in the Panther. I got a set of aftermarket regular floor mats so I don't mess up my OE ones.
Okay. I want to find a set of floor mats for an OBS.
Okay.
Weird spider ones.
I would love for
WeatherTech
to make some for it, but they're not going to.
Well, this company is not WeatherTech. So, I'm excited. Rough Country mats. Oh, I haven't checked out Rough Country. Did you guys know that when I was at Limitless, we had a truck in the shop. It was a 21 gasser, long bed, short cab, and it had a WeatherTech bed, not mat, but bed like insert. Yeah, it was like this big, and you know had like a lip on it. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, they're pretty new. I did see that. I'd be interested. I would have might have got one of those if I didn't already have a bed mat.
Yeah, I'd never seen that.
I wonder how like puncture proof it is. How like on the Chevy commercials, how they're dropping toolboxes off the side of the bed.
Fake.
Yeah.
Staged. Staged. Here's DeVito. DeVito's chiming in. 33 a gallon for T6. Used to be 19. That's robbery. I need to get my next oil. Right now, if I'm 4 gallons before I saw you, Rich, I need to find my next oil. I just used my last oil change from my Ford Pass. It was my last run out of my Ford Pass points. Right now I got Motorcraft 540 in it. And I'm going to be out. So I'm going to be on the search for the next 5,000 miles for my next oil. I don't know if I should use my Hot Shots points that I haven't used yet. I had a card running
Right
Ford
now,
floor mats.
I can tell you it's easier and cheaper for me to buy AMSOIL than it is to find Rotella.
Wow. That seems like the biggest one right now is Rotella. People can't find Rotella.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not something we stock, but
Wow, Husky does make a set of floor liners for my truck. Interesting.
I just seen
Nice.
the Bed Rug makes bed liners. I have seen some dualies come in with the toppers and they're all carpeted. The whole bottom's the size, tailgate's got lights in there. I'm like, how cool would that be to do like, a little,
Yeah.
Camper, hang out,
I'd sleep in there.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, not with you.
I mean,
I would just sleep in there.
I would bolt a rooftop tent to it.
I haven't
Yeah,
checked
that'd
that
be
out. That'd be kind of cool.
Have you guys seen like the Ford accessory tent that you can get for the F-150s?
Bronco, F-150,
yeah.
all of them.
Those are kind of neat. I mean, they're pretty pricey, but
Eddie,
Yep.
that's kind of different. If I was
Eddie.
going on safari,
you mean that?
Check out, if you want to look at expensive tents, look at the CVT tents. Those are some expensive tents.
CVT tent. I have to check that out.
WeatherTech and the 09 King Ranch F-150.
They're really nice, but they're expensive.
Yeah. Everything's expensive now. If you can find
Crackers.
it, it's expensive.
I've had a couple guys send me a picture. They're like at Walmart or Home Depot, and they see four gallons, and they've swiped all four of them boys right up. Get it what you can. Everybody's favorite fuel additive right now in the comments. Boom, all 72 of you hit the like. Drop in the comments. What is it? We have my favorite go-to one is Hot Shots. I like their oil additive. I use this in combo with my oil and the EDT. Sometimes I use their diesel fuel extreme treatment. I don't use it all the time, but I definitely use their EDT. Something is in my tank every time. I'm on my 70th tank now of fuel, and every tank has had additive in it. So in 22,000 miles, I'd say 80% of my tanks have been to half tank. So with that has been always had additive, and has put me at about 70 tanks worth now. When I started my truck 2 years ago, fuel was $2.89, which reminds me, let's do our fuel check-in. What is fuel around you guys this week? Now it's $4.97. I think I just seen it at the convenience stores of Speedway. So, Boo Nasty, Turbo Max, 530. Come on.
It was 517 last time I went out.
517. I hear Arch Oil is good. I haven't used Arch Oil in the 6.7.
I've used Arch Oil. I've used Arch Oil in my old 7.3. That stuff was great. Is there any
in the 6.0?
additives? Is there any additives that you guys wouldn't recommend? Like any brand?
589. Ugh. Is there anyone that I wouldn't use?
It's a question I don't hear too often.
I mean, as long as it's not some podunk garbage.
Homemade. Made it in the shed.
You know what I'd like to check out is does Marvels have something for diesel? Like, do they have like a diesel compliant or diesel friendly
They
additive?
they do. So Marvel has the ultimate formula, which is the black bottle. And
Uh-huh.
everybody knows I'm a huge Marvel fan. I've tried a lot of stuff. I can't say anything bad about Hot Shot because I haven't tried it. I don't know. I'm sure it's great stuff,
Yeah.
especially if you guys like it. But Marvel was
Yeah,
the
never
best
tried
one
it.
that I've seen so far for me. And they have the ultimate formula, which is the black bottle. And that is completely 100% safe to use in the diesels. It's kind of hard to find it unless you're around like a Tractor Supply or a Rural King or something like that. I went to Rural King and they had about 40 bottles on the shelf. So I got a couple bottles and I used it in uh, my town car, which is gasoline, but it can be used in diesel or gasoline. The only difference between the Ultimate and the red bottle is the Ultimate has a little bit less sulfur content, and you can still use the red bottle in your diesels. Marvel wanted to make something for the diesel guys where the EPA would say, okay, all right, at least you made an attempt. You lowered the
Right.
sulfur content, so we're okay with it now. The red
Got their
stuff,
stamp.
guys still run in their diesels anyway, and it's such a low sulfur amount. When you actually break it down by the amount of diesel you actually put in a Super Duty, you're never going to be affected by the amount of sulfur that's in it anyway. But they created the ultimate formula so the diesel guys could be, rest assured it's completely safe to use.
I'll have to check them out. I'll have to check them out.
I like running their stuff. I ran Marvel or no Marvel last week, and I averaged right at 19.7 miles to the gallon. I was telling you earlier. Right now, I am running this week with Marvel, and I've bumped up to 20.9. And
Damn.
I take the same roads every day. I don't make any extra stops or anything. It's cold in the morning. It's cold in the evening, and I'm averaging better fuel now with a fuel additive like Marvel than without it.
Wow. That's what's up. What's your speed? 50 miles an hour plus all the time?
Right at 70 to 74. I stay right between 70 and 74 mile an hour. With a 373 gear set, 4.62 valve, and the oil changed by every 5,000 miles.
Wow. That's excellent.
I'm about to start cooking my own diesel. The way diesel is going up.
I'm excited to get my Blackstone results back. Email something. I haven't gotten anything yet. I keep checking my spam just to make sure. Let me check it right now. I haven't checked it since this morning. But
what kit did you get from Blackstone? Did you get just the regular black bottle, or did they send you the envelopes as well?
it came with a bottle and an envelope.
Okay, so the envelope is the new way that you can actually get it looked at faster. The Postal Service was having issues with just sending the black bottle only, like the recent way they used or the previous way they used to do it. You'll still get your oil analysis for anybody that's watching. They'll still process it. It just takes longer to get there. It's something to do with the way it's packaged. So they started sending the white envelopes out with the actual mailing address and everything on the envelope, and it's getting to them faster that way.
Nice.
I get 13 with my 550 I drive every day.
I get 50 in the Volkswagen.
I've been seeing customers running high tire pressures trying to get better gas mileage. LOL.
I did not get 50 in my.
Oh, that's funny.
I have a 99 Jetta with a 2.0 gas 5-speed, and I
Yeah,
drive
the last trip I made from Florida to Michigan, I averaged 50.
Dang.
Cruising at 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, no, that Jetta likes to go fast. I beat the piss out of that thing, and I still get like 36 miles to the gallon.
That's stupid. How much you can beat on those things and still get good fuel economy.
You know,
Yeah.
I wish I had a beater so I could, you know, not that I don't want to drive my Super Duty, but you know,
Right.
just to take a break from the big truck and have a little, you know, shit box. I
Right.
had a 91. Okay, I got this car for free. One of my coworkers was getting a new job that provided him a toolbox. And he's like, "Man, what am I going to do with this toolbox?" He's like, "I'll tell you what, if you find a spot for my toolbox, I'll give you this car." I said, "Bring the title tomorrow." I called my buddy up who lived by himself, had a trailer, had tons of room. I said, "Hey, man, can I store this toolbox in your other side of the street?" He's like, "Yeah, man, bring it in." So I had this car for 5 years, right? I put 60,000 miles on it. It was a 91 blue Escort GT, 1.8
Nice.
liter Mazda
Good
5-speed, rotted. I mean, rust holes galore. I had um, a great stuffed, the spray foam, all the back. So if I had the windows up and I just cracked the driver's window, it would draw in all the exhaust from like the back hatch. So I had to grate stuff like the whole bottom part of the trunk area so that it wasn't all perforated, and I had to go up into the fender. Got that. But I mean, I rocked this thing, would get 24, 25 miles a gallon, had to drive out to, you know, like an hour away to see a friend of every weekend. And I mean, it was freaking awesome. I love
That's
that
a good
car.
car.
Yeah. You
My
know, it
buddy
didn't get,
Justin, he had a Escort GT, like a '93. He took that to like damn near 500,000. Drove it to the junkyard.
that's awesome. I wish I still had that car.
He would
Oh,
You
jump
remember the
tracks
old
and he'd jump tracks and it would hit the fuel shut off and he'd have to get out and hit the reset and drive.
do you remember the old Ford Festivas?
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The little roller skates?
Gosh, I haven't seen one of
yeah.
them in years.
I when I was like 17 years old, I wanted a car really, really bad. And I'm walking to school and walking home and walking to school, walk home. Finally, long story short, I ended up dropping out of school. I went back and completed school later. And I was working a couple jobs and I walked by this Ford Festiva. It was parked in this alleyway behind somebody's fence. And I would see it all the time. This little silver Ford Festiva. And I was like, I wonder what they want for that. So one day I muster up enough courage and I went to the door and I asked the old man, I said, what do you want for that old car back there? It's got to be for sale. You don't ever drive it. The guy says, that old thing ain't worth nothing. And the thing has got like 100,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you want for it? The guy says, I don't know. Give me $600 for it.
Look at that little thing.
Bought the car for 600.
What color
I
was
bought it
it?
for $600. Silver, just like that
Oh,
one.
no shit. That's so funny. Look at Ford Boss Street driving. I see him in there right now. Look at him. He's
They
flipping me
give
off, man.
They, they want
would redline this
$4,200 for that.
I would redline this car. I would just, it was a stick shift. So I would race everybody in town in this little thing.
I think that's the same car.
You know,
I think so. It's a stick too.
yeah. You know, Ginger Billy.
That's awesome.
You know the
Yeah,
comedian,
yeah.
all those skits that he does with the little Ford Festiva. Isn't that a little Ford Festiva he's got in his videos or something?
Oh man, yeah, he was mowing the lawn.
So,
Yeah. So I drive this thing around for about 6-7 months and putting a lot of miles on it. I mean, I'm driving out of state in this thing. Gas mileage is phenomenal. What is it, like a little 1.3 liter or something or whatever?
Small.
It's a briefcase.
So I see another one in a farmer's field, a black one, and it's got a big dent right in the side of it between the front and rear, like a full-size Bronco hit it. And I stop and I'm like, $300 you want for the car? Give you $150. And he said, get the damn thing off my lawn. So I bought a second. And the reason I say it looked like it been hit by a full-size Bronco, because it did get hit by a full-size Bronco. They were playing out in the farmer's field, and the sun crashed the Bronco into the side of the Festiva. So I drove that thing around, dog tracking down the road for almost 3 years before I junked the damn thing with 240,000 miles.
That's awesome.
I had 2 Ford Festivas.
That's awesome.
And I found your exact one, but in mint condition in Florida.
Mint.
The silver one was like that one as well. It only had like 100,000 miles on it, and it was mint.
2 Festivas, 1 for each foot.
Mike just bought his Festiva that he had. They turned it into a truck.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah. He drove it back from Indiana without question after it sat for 10 years.
Jeez,
Man, the damn things run good, man.
And they get like, he said he got like 45, 50 miles a gallon out of the thing.
They run good, man. I tell you, the only thing they don't like is when you're trying to push that hamster cart to like 80 mile an hour, and then you hit traffic and you got to slam on the brakes, and it's like glazed over, and the damn thing don't want to stop because the brakes aren't big enough to. I mean, they're like little bicycle brakes. Oh, I beat the hell out of that thing.
Man, where you get them small ass rotors, man?
Went to the donut shop.
Yeah.
All right. Diasis, he's off to bed. I think we're going to do the same. This would be a good time to end. I want to thank you guys for coming through the Wednesday Powerstroke Console Arm Profit. Don't forget to check out, if you guys have the 22s, call your dealer, schedule an appointment. You will get a notification, a letter. Ford will let you guys know, but we want to make sure you get that taken care of. Don't freak out. Programming now can take place. Come see me, Ford Boss. We'll get you squared away. DS, if you're out there listening in no man's land, we're here for you. We miss you. And
30 gears.
430 gears to you. All right, guys, you have a good one.